ready, just type an R in chat.
We are so original.
All right. So in our last session, we actually had a giant fight happening. You have uh, secured yourself as representatives for the moon, although as a result of said fight, you are no longer allowed to go, at least for now, in the side of the moon for political reasons. This does not mean though that the sunrise plains are that you're not barred from them. You can still enter them by going around. It's just that you're not allowed to go inside the sun side for a little bit. Um, Not just because they just wouldn't let you. It's just that currently it is a literal divide happening. You can see guards within the middle of the division of the sun and the moon side, not letting anyone pass, like at all. You can see second to none bar maybe one or two messengers that go back and forth. Um, but other than that, there is no entryway. Last time, Monatria thanked you for your contribution, for your victory. She informed you saw her a bit exhausted, tired. Um, Not illogical considering having to erect an entire stadium from the ground up, literally, and then proceeding to not only do a dance but a song uh, while the fighting happened can put a strain, but she is determined to see everything through and then uh, bring the tribes forward in the name of Saloon. Um, Now, oh, did I not put the song on repeat? No, I did not. If I'm not mistaken, you've all. What level are you all right now?
11.
We're all 11. 11, 11. You are all 11. Okay.
He's just powering up the final boss, you guys.
Yeah.
I am
Can I
looking.
finally get a soul?
No.
You, for the purposes of you also being able to, prepare for whatever is needed, so you don't have to have expectations. Because I don't think that this doesn't need to be kept um, hidden. There will be no more levels this chapter.
Okay.
You are where you are right now, and this is what you're going to work with for however long this chapter will continue.
Getting the
Um,
Baldur's Gate treatment.
that's level 12, dude. Um, the uh, the surrounding areas are all open to you. All the points of interest within the town are also open to you. You cannot rest because you, at some point, are going to be called back to the House of the Moon, and you are going to be invited to the Temple of the Two, as Monatria would want you to come and witness her ascension to become Mosu instead of Eclipsor. Um, well, that's basically what was said last time. You know where you will go at some point, but this is still D&D. It is still your game, and I work with an open book on that front. The stage is yours. What would you like to do? Talk or go about?
What happened to the armor and such we were kind of ordering?
Right. So you have ordered armor. Unfortunately, you cannot go physically to the other side to talk to Sarah about it, but you can send letters if need be.
Okay, but we were still missing stuff, right?
That I unfortunately have not kept track of. Let's take a look. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Group 1, Group 1, Group 1.
What
The only
armor?
thing, the only thing I can really remember is that I really wanted that leather armor.
Understandable.
Hmm?
I think I know what kind of armor you're talking about.
Stealthy
All
one, if I
right.
remember correctly.
What now?
A stealthy one, if I remember correctly.
No, not a stealthy one.
Yeah?
No, it was not a stealthy one. It was something else. But I just need to make a real quick check about something. I think I do see here that I wrote that Sabine did get her bow
Yes.
from Gerald, so that's done. As for you,
But I still need something from the link thingy.
right, that's the thing. That's the thing with the, I think within the armor thingamajig, he was going to send it to the other side to have it processed. And then just for this, yeah, all right. We're gonna do it like this. First, I want to know for who the armor is going to be.
It was for multiple of us, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't we? Yeah, did we not manage to get all the hides?
Sorry, I think I mixed it up with group 2 because they only had a single one. Yes, but that's how it's gonna go. So everybody is potentially going to get a type of armor, that's for sure. But with the Lynx fur that you managed to get, one of you will get a special one, and I would like to know who that is.
I mean, it depends on what the armor is. I guess we will decide on based
Yeah.
on that.
Regardless of what armor type it is, the effect can be applied to all. I would just like to know who it is, so I know what to do from there on.
But what is it? Like, does it have an
Yeah.
effect?
It has an effect.
Which is, or is that a secret until we get it?
Until I know who wants to, who would like to get
Oh, okay.
Everyone
Well-
wants armor, of course.
Yeah, but
I'll
but
pass. I'm fine.
I'm fine with the original armor I was going for. I think maybe, and I already have a
You know,
sword.
just for information, for example, if Peter would get armor, I'd probably not make it a +2 or something because he already has enough AC. But like for example, if it's Sabine, that wouldn't be an issue to have an extra +2, right? It all depends on the situation. On top of that, there is another thing on top of that armor piece.
Okay, who has the lowest AC of us all?
Me, of course.
I got
I
16.
see.
I have
15.
15.
18 here.
But it's fine. I can just druid craft myself a wall of stone. Or like, sorry, a wall of trees. I'm sure I can live.
Hmm.
So then either Skux or Sabine.
Sabine can take it.
Alright.
Okay. Let's see. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum.
I'm just gonna cast Mage Armor for the time being,
Mm.
so I have it up. So my AC is 18 now.
I mean, I just out heal it.
Oops.
I hope.
Sorry.
The guidance is my armor? Hell yeah.
Yes, I'll get your armor.
All right.
You get pass intimidation checks on your armor now.
For 1 minute.
All right.
Very good.
Can you roll me a D10, Sabine, please? 6. Right, I can work with that. What is the current armor type that you are wearing?
I'm wearing medium.
All right. But what type of medium armor are we talking about?
Let me double.
Oh, a chain shirt. That's it. There it is. Okay. All right. So, as you were all conversing with each other, Sabine, you are talking to who specifically? Are you doing something right now? Or anything in particular?
No, I think we were just waiting in the center here after hearing the announcement.
All right. The sky is relatively clear, at least when some of you would have glanced up or not. Currently, either you're looking forward, downward, or in any other way. Can you tell me your passive perception?
I have a
Actually,
17.
everybody can tell me their passive perception.
I have 23 passive perception.
Okay, great. At you, Skux, Charles. Yeah, you, Skux, and Charles. In an almost comical fashion, you would hear the flapping of wings, too far, but far enough, up in the sky, and then you would hear almost like a dropping sound, almost like a whistle, like a.
Oh god.
And there is a little suddenly. Sabine, you also start to hear it as it gets closer and closer, and you look up and almost there is like a little dot on your forehead that goes larger and larger and larger as
Alright.
something drops down. Can you make me a very simple dexterity saving throw?
Please fail.
I will headbutt her out of the way
All right.
if it's needed.
You just almost like just how I imagine it, like in the Roadrunner series for the Water Brothers, you just sidestep, shunk, and like an entire like a crate falls down on the
Great.
on the
Alright.
ground. It strangely enough, the crate itself, no damage, no cracks, no nothing. And then on top of the crate flies up, like at least in contrast to the crate, not that big of a bird. Can you roll me a history check?
We got an airdrop, you guys.
All
Who are
right.
that? Amazon.
So, you've already seen this bird before.
Oh, this is my little servant bird.
You've talked to this bird before, even. But now this time, rather than just having, being normal bird, it has a little insignia of like the sun side around its neck.
Alright.
Probably got upgraded into a useful carrying bird. Although you still question how in the hells it was able to carry an entire crate that would have probably crushed you should it have hit you. You can see it like twist its head as it looks at you, and then just starts to fly off. As it flies off, a tiny little scroll that was attached to its paw like pops off and right on top of the crate.
Alright, I would like to read it.
All right. As you unroll the tiny scroll, it is quite little written, but of course that's not an issue for little people because it is a letter from Sarah, and you can see she says, "Dear friends?" Question mark. Let me first say that the fight was very painful, but very exciting. Bit sad that we didn't manage to win, but regardless of that, I am a woman of my word. And when Gerald asked for a shipment of armors, these are for you. He also asked for a specific one, and you can immediately see which one is for who. each and every one of you can get. Let's see what we have here first. Mm, where is it? Where is it? Huh. That's weird. Oh well. The in the crates for you all is the same type of armor piece that you all are wearing, only that it is a +1 variant. So you can all add those. If I'm not mistaken, though, for you, Peter, if you do don up that +1 variant, you cannot wear the robes of the scribe that you got in the festival a few sessions ago. So you can have to make a choice for about those two.
I'll keep my robes, thank you very much.
All right. You can also sell it, maybe. Can maybe be interesting for gold. As for Sabine, when I asked you to roll me a D10, that was because you would get a special armor type that would give you a bonus to a specific resistance. And you're now an owner of a +1 chain shirt of necrotic resistance.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So now you are resistant to necrotic damage. Fairly so, as you take up that chain shirt, you can see a faint prismatic glow, like almost coated around the chain itself, and it feels almost familiar to the tuft hair that you brought from that astral lynx from before.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, like I said, the world is open for you to choose, or do you want to wait and then proceed to go towards the Temple of the Two?
Lilia was looking for a musical instrument before the whole thing started, and then everyone told her to wait because they were doing preparation, and then she got beaten, and now she wants her goddamn instrument.
Can you remind me of what instrument we're talking
It
about?
was a flute. It was a wooden instrument. I thought about a flute because she's like proficient with flute, so that's what I wanted. Like just a wood carved flute. That's all I wanted, but no one wanted.
All right, a flute. I gotcha. Can you roll me a dexterity saving throw?
My fuck. Yes, I can roll your dexterity. Do I get hit in the head by it?
I don't know. Depends on your dexterity saving throw. I mean, I could make it 15, or I can make it 10. It really depends on my mood right now. But yeah. No, that was just for joking. Let's see. Aha. As you are all either or not donning on your upgraded armor pieces, suddenly around you, Lilia, there is like a little ball of light that just like keeps twirling around your face, almost like in a very fast fashion.
Oh my god, is this the new friend that I made that almost tried to burn me?
As you try to focus on it, indeed it starts to like slow down a little bit, and you can indeed see little Feline stopping right in front of you with a little smile on its face, and kind of like goes towards you and then boops you on the nose.
So cute. Lilia's going to giggle and like wave hello at Feline.
She waves back and also around to everybody else as well, and she then looks towards you and makes like a hand gesture, almost like what magicians do.
Lilia's super excited, like going to clap her hand.
She then sort of like fans open her fingers and almost in a way like if you would look from the side, the palm of the hands from one hand are towards the other side that you cannot see, and the other side of the palm is towards your side, and then she sort of like interchangeably goes up, down, and then from her hands a tiny little flute almost like comes out of nowhere. But it
Is
is
it
so tiny.
Yeah.
It is. You can always. It's almost like a toothpick for you.
Oh my god. I guess I should have specified the size.
You can now have little toothpick flute into your inventory.
Oh my god, serious? But I wouldn't be able to use.
Good luck playing that.
Oh my god. I will thank her and I will just put it in my inventory.
She looks at you and then she starts to like silently laugh. You can think. Oh, for example, like in Peter Pan with Tinkerbell, when she laughs, you don't hear the laugh, you just see her laugh.
Okay, I guess.
And then she sort of like flicks away a tear of laughter away, and then she snaps her finger and dispels the reduce spell that she cast on the flute, and it starts to
Oh.
enlarge back up
Oh.
to normal size.
Suddenly it's like, oh my god, it's a flute! Unbelievable! I will thank Faylene and I will try to like, not boop her because I'll probably hit her, but like I will try to like give her my finger to like say goodbye or like hello.
Well, she then twirls through everybody's face at least once or twice, and then dashes away back towards the side of the sun.
Sayonara.
Now I want to use my flute and sing a song.
Want to sing a song?
I want to just perform. I want to try because I haven't played in a while. Let me just.
All right. Then roll me performance. Are you proficient in flutes or in any?
I am proficient with flute and I have performance, but I am rusty
Yeah.
as
No.
hell.
Then if you're proficient with flute, then you click on the flute in your proficiencies
Ooh.
because it adds your proficiency bonus towards the performance roll. I think
But
it automatically should have charisma rolls or query rolls in it.
It had strength for some reason, but I can use
strength.
whatever.
It should be query, I think. Let me take a look. Query attribute. Yeah, and the query is charisma.
I have -1. Sure, I think my 9 was better. Yeah. Okay.
No. 12 is decent. I would like for you to describe what you're doing, maybe what song you're trying to play, and in what your target is, your target audience, the effect that you would like for it to have.
Well, in very Lilia fashion, she wasn't trying to actually sing to anyone in Peculiar because she just wanted. She lost her old flute when she was jumping from 3 to 3 and got here, so that's why she wanted one. So she's just going to sing like a sort of it's a song, like a very catchy song that she would usually try to play in her druid circle. They would use it when they would go with children outside, so it's kind of like it was like a catchy little tune that you would probably hear a bard use somewhere in some weird tavern.
I've also forgot that there is a nice activity on Discord now that you can pull up YouTube. So if you people want to, sometimes you can find a video of a song that you like. You can activate the activity and put that up if you want to like enact that type of
maybe next
background music in the future. But all right. So with a 12, you do start to perform decently. There are some off notes considering it's been a while you've actually played, but a practitioner of these types of instruments, it's like riding a bike. You could almost like not do it for a long while, but if you just stand on the bike again, you'll probably get the hang out of it from it very, very fast. So the start was a bit off, You could hear like a little screeching moment. But you do manage to get a hold of it. Some people start to go around with interest of your play, but the festivities have happened, and I think people have had enough of songs and things. So not a lot. There is like a decently middle-aged woman that goes and looks at you. Oh, you poor little girl. Oh, those little things on your head must be quite the curse. And she gives you like half a gold coin out of pity, as she then goes away.
Lilia is a bit drunk, but I guess she was just kind of like realized that she was in the middle of a place full of people and just put her flute away and kind of take the coin.
Yeah.
Shyly.
Okay.
Not bad.
Well, all right. So Skux, Charles, or Peter, what would you like to do?
Skux will just wait.
Just wait. All right.
Yeah.
Charles.
I guess Charles will at the moment also do nothing since like.
All
yeah.
right. Okay. You're next to Florence. Can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Me?
Yes, you.
Wisdom
Turns
saving.
into a lich.
Yeah, it just explodes in the middle of the room.
Fine. You just had like a strange urge to kick Sabine in the butt while she picked
Oi.
up the crate, but you didn't do it. Also, stop looking at Sabine's butt. Peter, what would you like to do?
Well, since now we have time to kill, Peter will go over to the newest edition of our strange little party.
The Gotus.
I will go over to the goat and try to strike up conversation.
All right, roll for conversation and
Another
see if you're-
bird.
roll
Yeah.
for conversation. See what happens. No, just,
Okay,
the playing
gotcha.
field is yours.
Charisma.
No, I mean-
Are you trying to hit on me right now?
Yeah, you're winking with a straw in your mouth and
Yeah.
sparkling out of your eyes.
Yeah, all
Howdy.
right. Yeah,
Howdy
okay.
there, lady.
Yeah, I didn't know it was mating season already, but okay, yeah, sure, go for it.
No, I'll just. Peter will just casually walk over to Lilia and. Hey, Lilia. Can I talk to you for a moment?
Yeah, we can talk. Why not? And I'll just kind of like try to like look around and see if people are still looking at me from my earlier, thing. Maybe
There are the odd amount of people, but once you stopped playing, they start to like move on and do their stuff.
maybe not in the middle of the plaza, considering I just,
Yeah, I didn't even want to talk here. Let's go somewhere. Let's see. Recreation? No. Claves? Maybe. Market?
I mean,
Let's go.
Date
Let's go to the
already?
market.
I can become a huge owl if you want, and we can just go somewhere else.
There are some like tiny little spots that you can sit on, so a few tables that are sometimes empty, and there is the odd person that sometimes brings something to drink over there as well.
Oh yes, let's have a
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would say like a pseudo tavern-ish thing.
Let's go to the pseudo tavern. There is a free table right over there.
And Lilia would just hop like a goat very excitedly over.
So as we sit down. So Lilia, how did you actually even get here? I don't really remember.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever told you actually.
Right.
Well, you see, I'm a druid, right? I mean, I think that much was obvious, right?
So I would have guessed yes
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
were
Well-
pecking at my cheek in an owl form. Thank you very much.
Well, you see, we druid kind of like sometimes move with like very unconventional means that normal humans. Well, I mean, maybe you also have it. I don't know. But like we have this thing that is called tree hopping. At least that's how we call it in my, my circle. Like we can just travel from a tree to another.
Mhm.
And well, you see, I had this argument back at home. I was really mad, and I decided that I will go. Well, there was actually a reason why I decided to go, but I went and I jumped on the wrong into a wrong tree, and I got into this forest. That's the short version, okay? And you can see Lilia kind of like extremely uncomfortable because she doesn't want to admit that she just jumped into a random tree and just fucked herself in the ass. But like, there was a reason. Yeah, there was a reason.
I'm gonna roll an insight check to see how badly is it with you.
Hmm.
It's, I guess.
If some point, there is also something that I would also that I also need to like explain in terms of roles. A person always has the option to purposefully fail a role. So it is kind of like in terms of maybe sometimes even like a specific smart way to, I wouldn't say metagame, but to think like if they attack the closest target, maybe you should fail it purposefully so you can take the hit and and stuff like that. And in conversations, it is not impossible for a person to just literally say, okay, I automatically fail if I keep something secret because I don't see the need for it to be like deceptive in too much. Just wanted to throw that out there. It can have some neat little effects during conversation.
I don't think that Lilia would want to hide anything from Peter, though. It's just like she's kind of ashamed that she hopped in the wrong tree.
Right.
That's
So I would guess that you are just embarrassed.
Yeah, it probably would be very obvious. I think I'm pretty red, pretty like flustered, and like trying to explain by pointing out a lot of trees and yeah.
Or like in Baldur's Gate fashion, she seems to be embarrassed. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
I see. So
Hmm.
because of an argument, you jumped into a tree, and you might have made a mistake, and that's how you.
I didn't say it was an
Found
argument, okay? I said that it was a conversation. A very heated conversation, but it wasn't an argument, I think, at least.
Right. Okay. Sure.
It's just like, you see, I am a good druid. It's just people don't believe that I'm a good druid, and so I wanted to prove myself, right? And I decided to go and jump a tree. Well, not just a tree, like more trees. Because I was like, if I go outside and then I do something, and that something that I do is going to be like great, then they will see it, and they will see that I'm a good druid. But I'm not really sure what I should do. So I just decided to jump trees. Like, see, maybe someone needed help in the forest. I don't know. Maybe I'll find someone, like a child that got lost, and like I don't know, someone that was dying, something like that. But then I get into this forest, and there was a lady in a tree, and then everyone is crazy, and like everyone is fighting. I don't know what's wrong.
It seems she has forgotten to breathe.
Okay, chill there. Yeah, okay, I understand. You wanted to prove yourself.
Yeah, I mean, because, well, I'm not sure if I should refer to her as mother, but my druid, my head druid, Amaris, which is well, technically my adoptive mother, I guess. She found me, I don't know where, but she found me. And I grew with her. She's the head of the druid, and she's just so powerful, and like she's so inspiring, and I want to be like her, and I think I can be like her, but just people don't believe me. So I want to prove to them that I can be like her.
I see. So
How about you?
So you didn't want to be in her shadow. I understand that.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
How about you? Did you also travel through trees?
thank you for sharing. No, I did not. You see, mages like me don't travel through trees.
Maybe they should.
You're now tier 2.
Hell yeah, boy. No. We wizards usually use a, normal teleportation magic like circles of teleportation or actual teleport. But you have to be quite capable to achieve that level, and I'm not quite at that level just yet.
I'm sure one
I,
day you'll be.
I haven't learned that much because that happened and I had to pick up other skills, set of skills, and focus on something else to find out what happened and to save my friend, basically.
Oh,
And
is the friend dead?
no, the friend is all right. He was just being accused of something wrongfully,
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So I was looking for clues, and I found out that the secretary of the headmaster of the school
Uh-huh.
was the culprit.
Uh-huh.
And you see, I'm looking for this book. Not the crazy book that Charles has, no. Don't think like that. I'm looking
It
for
starts
this.
to pulse a little bit of black ink as you say that.
It's a book that has a form of magic in it. And
Okay.
yes, a form of magic, I say, because me as the player can't really remember correctly.
Oh,
So
I
it's a
see.
form of magic
Mm-hmm.
that was supposed to help the secretary with their goal. However, I found them when they were doing a ritual, and the ritual went awry, and I kinda got teleported here.
In all this, Lilia is going to nod as she has the slightest idea of what secretary is and what the fuck he's talking about. 'Cause she just grew up in the forest. She knows like acorn tree and like bears. That's all she knows. She's going to be like, that's very interesting. I have no fucking clue what you're
Like
talking about.
in a completely impassive face, you see Lilia talk to you, and she just literally says, "I have no idea what you just said, but I feel for you." That's basically what she says.
I see. Yeah, I could have used a different type of language.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I understand. Maybe it was a passion crime. You don't know. Something happened for sure. I understand. It's okay.
I wouldn't call it a passion crime at all. It was quite deliberate.
Uh,
So yeah, that's kind of how I wound up here, and I'm currently on the.
So, do
on
you
the
like what are you exactly? Are you like a guard? Because you said you were investigating.
Yeah, it's you wouldn't really know what detective is.
No. It's like no. We don't have detectives.
I'm a person that searches for any type of clue to find the culprit and bring them to justice,
Oh.
or apprehend them myself, or do something with it. I don't exactly know. This is very new to me. I am still young. Please don't ask more questions about this. I have no idea how to explain it.
You sound like you have really no idea what the fuck you're explaining. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. I think it's kind of like a tracker, you know, like we have those that go outside and look for bears, or like they look for traces, like bear shit and stuff like that. So it kind of looks
Something
like
like that. I just don't look for their shit. Let's say I just look for their pieces of magic that they leave behind.
It's close enough. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Makes sense.
The last time I went into the well that Charles was in, but
Yeah, I think I wasn't with you back then, but I think I would have seen you because I was around. Yeah.
yeah. So you've seen me go into the well. Good.
Yeah.
You might think, how did he survive so long under the water? You see, there was no water for me. It was a whole different space.
Oh.
And I found this huge mythical being, let's call it like that, that stored a lot of information, and I got a lot of information back. Because
What
apparently,
What sort of being?
have you heard of Sphinx?
Yeah. I would know of creatures. I would just not know of institution. Like creatures and animals and plants, those are familiar to me.
It was a Sphinx.
Roll me a history check.
Me?
Yeah, you. Although sphinx are not actually considered like forest creatures, but maybe
Mm.
you've seen or heard any stories from
Yeah,
druids
exactly.
that used
Probably.
that are in your circle because you're a forest druid. Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, roll. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you're not a desert druid.
I wouldn't
Honestly,
know
you
how
know,
it.
here's the thing. I want you to choose whether you want to go for the 1 or the 20 and play it off depending on what you rolled on those two.
I mean, the way I would like to think of Lilia, she probably has a lot of knowledge. She was the head of, like, she was the daughter of the head of the druid, so she would have access to a lot of people that came in the druid, like, grove, and people would
Mhm.
tell her a story. So she probably would know. She wouldn't
For
know how
sure,
it
for
looks.
sure. It is not uncommon for druids to invite druids from other circles to to discuss you know, exchanges, whether it would be from knowledge to
Yeah.
techniques to sometimes even people, so that there isn't. It's really weird. You know, inbreeding does not happen, so it helps.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
so yeah.
Lore stuff, you know. But continue.
But yeah, so like I would like to say that she knows, but she doesn't know how one looks. Like at least she doesn't have that good of a memory to know how one looks. But she would know that they exist and kind of that they are enigmatic, like creatures that live. So I would know about it, but that's about it. So in between 1 and 20, not one of or any, I think. would
It's a
be
10.
Yeah, like a 10. Anyway, it's like
Yeah.
that is absolutely interesting.
Yeah, and thankfully I passed the trials
Oh.
that they have given me. You know, they really like riddles, you probably know. And
Not.
yeah, I managed to acquire some information. And I also know that the stone we are searching for is inside the Temple of the Two.
Oh.
Hmm.
So, and we cannot just ask for the stone. Do you think they will not give it to us?
I don't think they will, because they are, from what they said and from what I remember, they said that they are channeling their magic through it so they can keep up the barrier around it, around these two villages.
Correct.
So the trees don't
Just
consume them.
that is correct. It is said that priests use prayer and funnel strength. I would say in a same-ish manner, if you, in how it was explained in Edge's campaign, with the little crystal that empowers a barrier around the camp. It's sort of in the same way here.
Oh, but wouldn't like removing the stone then endanger the people here if we have to take
Fuck
it?
'em.
Yes. What, Edge?
Oh, nothing.
We just heard you in the back. What?
Fuck him. It's our stone. We need it.
We hear like Sabine from very far away. Fuck him!
Yeah, my setup is a bit different because something broke.
Oh.
It's cool, man.
Mm.
I guess that really comes to how we can convince them.
I mean, I see two options. We steal it, they die. We ask them to give it to us, they die. In either way, they die.
Maybe we can have a wish that can save them, you know?
But I
Because
don't
they
know.
will, we will get a wish if we collect all the
what
infinite
a-
stones.
Not using my wish on them.
But like, wouldn't we want to use the wish to save the lady in the tree in the first place? She is probably connected to a druid. I think that whatever happened here might be connected to actually to a druid circle that was once here. I'm actually not very sure, but it feels like something went definitely wrong. But the forest of this size must have had a druid camp or a druid, you know,
Grove.
grove circle somewhere. Was forgetting my words. Like it feels like something very wrong happened here.
Yeah, that sounds like a very plausible idea.
And
Good theory.
You get a as you say that, you get a little like chill down your spine, remembering how your body was possessed a little while ago.
alright, yeah, I forgot about that little incident of me just going home.
And how it, like, for some strange reason, also passed through to Peter.
And like as I like have a, like this like moment of ugh, like we also got possessed. Like I got possessed by nature, I think. Like I was speaking with nature, and whatever possessed me came from the ground, like from the actual spirit of nature or something. Something. I don't say and something. I just thinking.
Nerving.
Can only guess. You
Yeah,
were
exactly.
considered in the scheme of things. You were considered unconscious for that duration, so you would have no feeling idea of whether visual or in the mind or in any form to what it was. But you can make assumptions if you want to.
At least, yeah, that's what Lilia would think in this situation, because the last thing she knows, she was talking to the nature, and then she was like, boom, possessed.
Yeah, it's very unnerving.
All right. Um. Before we're going to move on, Charles, what are you doing as they are conversing with each other?
Mm, nothing major really, just like going through my pack, doing stuff, maybe like give my book a little nudge to see if it like develops anything special, a special condition or something.
Oh, you nudge it, it nudges back.
Huh.
Like
I
you,
look at the book and see if it has any physical, how to say it? Not disabilities, but like hindrances.
physical hindrances. You mean
Like
like
tears,
unique features, maybe?
either that, yeah, features word.
Well, all right. It's actually a pretty good question. Um, let me see. Where did I put that? Doot, 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 doot. It was here somewhere. No, that was my book. Huh.
Did I get your book?
No, this was a book that I downloaded a while ago for one of my wizard characters that I wanted to make, but I'm trying to find where I put yours. Well, to paint the picture, originally when you found that book, it was like with a purple cover, and it had some golden adornments, just like thin lines, very very thin adornments on the edges, kind of like just and a blank center, just nothing in it. This time though, you've noticed that the book looks a little bit different. The adornments started to have like expanding a little bit towards the center. There are kind of like now swirls of that gold going towards the middle. The middle itself still from each corner. The middle itself still being clear, and also the backside of the book. I forgot the English word. Um,
The spine of the book.
the spine of the book. Thank you very much. Has also been given a bit more of these golden adornments as well, but they are like interwoven with some like black ink, almost like in between it, making like a mix, kind of like a mix of it. As for the pages themselves, they are as clean as they can be, almost like they are just purely new.
I'll try writing.
You want to write in it?
Like, I probably have some kind of like.
You do. You do. You definitely have writing tools with you. But the question is, what do you want to write, or what do you do? You open the book, or is that your intent?
Yeah, my intent is indeed to open the book and look at one page.
At the front page or a page?
Yeah, just like open it in the middle somewhere and just look at a page.
All right. Let's see what we're gonna do. Pum. Come on. Where is it? Nope. Yes. There it is. Right, as you open the book, all pages are indeed still blank for you. You can see a faint outline of maybe words. You can see like a faint vision of like potential runes or writings of old. Maybe you can sometimes the most equivalent that I can tell you about is when you open a new game and you have to like set the gamma correctly so you can just barely see the image in the dark screen. That's how you can barely see the faded words and the images on the book unreadable in its current state. And what do you write on it? I would like you to be specific on what you write.
I say I write a general description of everything that just happens, and no, I'm just gonna describe how the event went, how the tournament went, how everyone fought, and who won, and who totally sucked ass.
As you start to write the things, curiously enough, the words that you describe for what you did and who this and when you did what and all those things, it's almost like rather than the ink absorbing into it, starts to like drip off from the page, like it's hydrophobic and then just plops onto the floor, except for the parts where you wrote when somebody was useless or annoying or interesting in the sense of like what could happen if X bad thing happened to them. Those words stay.
Alright, then I will look
And
around.
then they fade into like barely not being able to be seen.
I will look around to see if anyone's watching me write
I don't
this.
know. Well, the question was what you were doing while the rest was talking, so the only ones who could were either Sabine or Skux, if they would feel so like it.
I'm eyeing him.
Alright, let
then
him do it.
I would like for you then to do a perception check. Actually, yes, perception. Let's start with perception. Oh yeah.
All your
You-
secrets are revealed to me.
Well, let me first paint the picture. As Charles is doing all these things, you do notice him opening the book and starting to write in it. With your keen eyes, the thing is that Charles is first of all bigger than you. So what you see is just looking upwards, and you see the bottom of the book and him just looking at it and writing. But you do also see the droplets of ink just still falling towards the floor as he writes. And you see him grimace, his face grimace as he does so. That's about what you see.
I will think out loudly and I will. Okay, do I notice Cox watching me?
Perception, I guess. Disadvantage because you're focusing on your book as you do that.
Why are there so many with a P?
Yeah. Natural one. You were so focused that you would probably not even hear a mosquito next to your ear.
Oh well, seeing as the book is still, well, pretty useless for a book.
It slams itself shut with your finger if still in it.
Hey, it doesn't know that I...
It knows.
Can it read thoughts now? Holy shit. Write the book.
can you roll me an Arcana check? While the book literally slams shut on your finger.
Of course.
There was a faint sense of something touching your mind, but it came and went too fast for you to 100% lock on it because your finger is still literally between the pages.
I will start to use the incantation of blight to try and scare the book.
You want to
Right.
blight the book.
Yes.
Like, you are going to do it, or you're just starting to, like, gesturing that you're doing it?
I'm gesturing that I'm doing it because I know that this book is a bit more sentient than he lets on.
It does nothing. It knows the incantation you're doing, but it does nothing.
Okay, then I'll just start screaming, "Ah, fuck this book! Can someone help me get this thing off me?"
It's almost like it has a vice grip on his finger. Nobody does nothing, you're alone.
Okay,
Is that
well,
is that normal for a book, Charles?
do you think it's normal for a book?
I don't know. I don't read. Want me to cut loose your finger?
Can you cut the book or anything so that it gets loose? It's not really pleasant in there.
I will take out my dagger and I'm gonna start prying his finger out.
Wait, you touched your dagger? Okay, how about you do me a sleight of hand and see how delicately you're going to do this? Or you hopefully don't roll a natural one and cut his finger off.
Hey, it's not my finger.
It is not your finger. Oh, you managed to lodge it in decently, and as you try to pry it open, your finger is loose, Charles. You can get it out, but you actually see your. Can I ask what dagger you used?
A normal one.
A normal dagger. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not putting my
Venom.
dagger in there.
The metal of the dagger starts to melt off and it becomes useless.
What the hell?
I pull my finger loose.
You can see it start to like literally. It melts off as if, not really melts. It's almost like. No, it was the wrong word. It starts to corrode off, like millions of years have passed, and then it just goes into dust.
What the absolute fuck?
Okay, seeing as my finger is loose,
Your finger is fine.
I will let go of the book and I will give it a kick.
It's already on the floor, and you give it a kick, and you can hear "Oh, my head!" somewhere on the other side of whatever you kicked it, and then a few seconds of nothing, and there is a weight suddenly on your belt.
I look down. What do I see?
And there is a book.
Oh my god! Oh, I want to kill it.
For Skux, for you, it's when you're, basically knee height, a bit higher, you see that first there is kind of like a dark, ghostly, shadowy outline appearing, and then it becomes more and more solid until the book, like, instantaneously is there.
By Maglubiet.
Maglubiet.
Maglubiet, there we go.
Oh, you're a fervent believer of Maglubiet?
No.
No, okay then. He's for the absolute. Kill him!
Kill him!
Um.
Scramble his brains.
All right. Regardless of this, Sabine.
Yes.
You owe me a dagger, by the way.
I owe you nothing. You wanted to put it inside an evil
Oh
book.
no,
I don't know.
Charles.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, Charles, you owe him a dagger.
Per coincidence, I have a dagger, actually. There you go.
Alright, sure.
Yay.
Just reduce the dagger from your side then. You see
Mm-hmm.
Flora, and she like pulls a little bit on your
All right, I'll ask her what's up.
and she writes, "I'm hungry."
Hungry. Do we have food with us? I kind of gave all my food to that bird, I think.
Charles, as the proper chef he is, does have some.
Had 3 rations.
I have 2.
I'll ask her if that's okay for her or if she wants something else.
She nods a little bit, but she also she's also a little bit thirsty.
Some to drink, I guess. Is everything okay with her? Are you all right?
She seems a little bit dizzy.
Can I at least briefly examine what's going on?
Let's start with if you just want to examine. In what way you want to examine her? Is it
Visually, do I see
visually?
her sweat?
Okay, perception then, yeah.
Alright.
Yes, you see that she's sweating a little bit. She has a bit like a red cheeks. And she's breathing a little bit slowly.
Not good. I'll shout over to the little goat. You can do healing magic, right? Think Flora caught a flu or something. Goat?
Anna,
Sorry, you were.
you're the goat.
The goat was
Clearly
nothing.
trying to eat a tin can or something.
Yes, exactly. No, I was nibbling on Peter's hair.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Peter, you have a little piece of hair loss.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, I am indeed. Yes. Come here, Flora. Let me look at
I
you.
keep an eye on them though.
Alright,
I'm not
roll
going to
me a
do
medicine
that.
check. You were already ahead of me. Oh yeah, decently. She has a slight fever.
Would curing her do something, or would it be easier for me to use, like, to grow a plant that I know would help her?
She has a slight fever. She's sweating. It's, at least at first glance, from what you've learned, just a normal cold, maybe. Although it is strange, for it just happened to her. You've all been into contact together. But other than that, nothing special. If you want to cure, then maybe, but cures are mostly used for direct wounds.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
that sense.
You have restoration spells?
That's maybe a possibility.
I do maybe have I have less restoration indeed, yes.
That's possible if you want to use
I
it.
can try to cast. Yeah, I will distract Flora for not scaring her, because like I'm going to cast something her. I'm going to cast something to help you, but in the meanwhile I will like use Druidcraft to just make like a small flower pop from the ground so she can be distracted.
Yeah, she ignores the flower and just looks you straight in the eye.
I will just
Seem to have worked.
amazing. I will put my hands forward and like, come on, give me your hands, and then I'll cast Lesser Restoration on her.
She does so. She puts her hands into yours, and you can see the little light from your hands, the little like a green spark go from out of you. Your hair, interwoven with flowers, starts to lightly float and has like a little outline of green as that also travels towards her hand. At the intersection, as you touch her hands, it's almost like there is a sort of like a transition of color. Your verdant green starts to transition into like a more whitish color towards the center as it like fades out of color, and then that color as it reaches her palm starts to like switch off into a more yellowish golden color as it envelops her body instead. And you see her take a breath in and then a breathe out. and she looks a lot better. At the first glance, you can no longer see that red puff on her cheeks, no longer that much of a sweat. She does look a little bit more still somewhat uncomfortable. But that's mostly what you presume to be an after effect of the body just suddenly saying like, oh wait, is it really gone? And she tries to like walk around a bit. She twirls and twists. As that faint
Fucking
yellow
does.
glow around her is like, still like there until it like completely disappears, and then she smiles and signs thank you towards you.
I will ruffle her hair lightly with not being too rough, and I was like, well, here you go. If you feel if you start feeling again like worse, please come to me.
She nods. All right. As this all has happened, you see one unknown guard approach you all, and more towards the side of Peter specifically. And he makes a slight bow and is like,
Yes.
you know, he
About
clears his throat, tries to get everybody attention, and he's like, I have been sent to bring the champions towards the side of not side, towards the Temple of the Two. Are they available to make the travel?
I certainly am. How about you guys?
Ready as I have a good bit.
Charles gives you deadpan eyes.
Suppose we're ready.